Now, Mondays are usually a time when we chat with TMZ, and Dax is off this weekend. But since he's off, we have a special guest here in the Winging It Buffalo-style studios. We'd like to welcome syndicated radio host Ralphie Aversa to the show. The Niagara Falls native hosts The Ralphie Show out of 95.5 in New York City, which airs across the country. And it's syndicated, as I mentioned. So we want to start off by talking about Kesha, Ralphie. And radio stations are pulling her song Die Young off the air, all in response to the shootings in Newtown, Connecticut. What's the deal about that? And I guess you have an interesting tidbit of information to tell us about that.
Last weekend, this all started where, radio stations started pulling it following the tragedy, like you said. last Monday morning, TMZ did a big article about this and the plummet in audience that Die Young had. On Tuesday, for some reason or another, Kesha decides to respond to this on Twitter, and she tweets out that she was forced to sing the lyrics to Die Young, completely contradicting what she had told me last month when she was in studio on my show. Here's that clip.
I definitely make sure that every word rings true to me because I would never want to misrepresent myself to millions of people around the world. You know what I mean? So I wrote and rewrote that song 10 times. For me, I really need to mean what I'm saying.
Oh, doesn't sound like she was forced to sing any of the lyrics on her new album,
Didn't
Warrior,
sound like she really meant to say that anyway.
TMZ picked up that clip. Next thing you know, it is a huge story everywhere across the world, to the point where Kesha had to respond, saying that she wasn't forced, that was the wrong term, but she didn't feel comfortable with the lyrics. So.
Interesting. I mean, something that we'll keep our eyes on, of course. She's always going to respond on Twitter, and we'll see if her song comes back on the radio.
Right.
On a lighter note, the Miss Universe crown is back in the USA. Olivia Culpo of Rhode Island became the American winner in 15 years, the first American winner in 15 years, and you interviewed her just weeks before her big moment.
Yeah, I spoke with Olivia. I love her because she's like the girl next door. She doesn't have any type of ego whatsoever.
Sure, no air about her.
No, none at all. I mean, she didn't come in with a huge entourage into the studio or anything of that nature. She was very nice, and yeah, as you mentioned, the first American in 15 years to win Miss Universe. And Olivia told me she felt at a little bit of a disadvantage going into the pageant. Here's what she had to say.
You'd be surprised, for Universe, there's such less time to prepare because I have my duties as Miss USA, which are my dedications to philanthropy and other things like that. And then on top of that, I have to prepare myself for Miss Universe.
So, but nonetheless, it still worked out for her. She beat out over 80 other contestants to be the first American winner in 15 years.
You had an interview with her, though. How did you get such a, I guess, revealing look at her? You had a connection with her in Rhode Island?
Yeah, my show does air in Rhode Island,
okay.
And so she grew up listening to the station that I'm on there, 92 Pro FM, which is great. And also I've judged some of the Miss USA state qualifiers as well, so I have a pretty good relationship with the Miss Universe organization.
Where can people hear you here?
If they just Google Ralphie Aversa or go to ralphieaversa.com, there's a listen live link. So.
All right, sounds good. 95.5 WPLJ. I grew up listening to that station on Long Island.
Did you grow up in the tri-state area?
Yeah,
Long Island. Yeah, okay, awesome.
So a Niagara Falls native, a boy from the old country, making it down in...
I know, from little old Niagara Falls, exactly. I don't make it to the big city. How about it, huh?
Ralphie, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Appreciate
For more information, of course, you can always log on to wingingit.tv. And when we come back, Amelia will be in the kitchen with Tara and Howard from Sweet Jenny's. Their homemade holiday ice cream is coming up right after the break. Stay with us.